Hello and welcome back to my channel. If you're new here, my name is Destiny. I'm a certified personal trainer and nutritionist, as well as a mama to my baby girl Cleo. And today I'm telling you how to get a flat stomach after having a baby. So if that's what you're here for, keep on watching. The first tip is to check for Diastasis Recti. That is separation in your abdomen, and it's super common in moms, whether you had a vaginal birth or a cesarean. If you're checking to see if you have this, you can get this done at the doctor, or you can also do it yourself. There are some tall tale signs that you may have this abdominal separation. A lot of times if you have this separation, you'll have a bulge in the midline of your abdomen, and you'll notice it when you're sitting up, like getting off the bed or something like that. Whenever you're lifting the upper half of your body up, you would have that bulge down the midline of your abdomen, and it can be at the top of the abdomen or lower down. So I did get the Diastasis Recti while I was pregnant, and it wasn't cute because it was an actual bulge on top of my already bulging belly. So another sign that a lot of people are not aware of, because it is so common, is that if you started your pregnancy with a innie for your belly button and throughout your pregnancy you ended up getting an outie, that can also be a sign of Diastasis Recti. Now if you're postpartum, you may have also noticed lingering lower back pain. So that is a very tall tale sign of Diastasis Recti. I hear a lot of people thinking that that was actually from the epidural shot in their spine, but more times than not, it actually is that separation in your abdomen. Another big sign, and this was actually super relevant for me, is when you're sitting down, you feel the need to be propped up somehow. Like you need to be in a chair that's sitting upright, or if you're laying on the bed or sitting up on the bed, you probably need a bunch of pillows behind you just for you to feel stable and like you're taking some of that pressure off of your spine. Okay, now tip number 2 is train your deep core. Now, a lot of us are unaware of what this means. This is not crunches, this is not Russian twists, this is not a lot of the abdominal exercises we see on Instagram. That's not it. And that can actually make this a lot worse by forcing the two sides of your abdomen further and further apart. Now, the deepest core muscle that we have is our transversus abdominis. So what this is a thin sheet of muscle that wraps around our abdomen and functions as a internal corset. So think of a waist trainer, how it cinches your waist in super tight. This is exactly what the transversus abdominal muscles do. A lot of what this will look like is oblique training. These exercises are going to feel really slow in the beginning, maybe feeling like they're not going to work as well because they're not super intense crunches, but these are super important to do to give that time to these muscles to really work on it, because first we have to work on the stability of the muscle, and then we can train the muscle back to what we need it to be. And remember, if you have this separation, you should not be doing crunches, you should not be doing Russian twists, you shouldn't be doing anything that is going to create that bulge in your abdominal muscles. A lot of times if you have Diastasis Recti, after you do ab exercises, you may actually feel a lot worse than what you felt before, or look worse because of that further separation of these muscles. Now, what it is that actually causes the trauma to these muscles is the excessive lengthening during pregnancy, as well as the actual separation from a cesarean section. So if you didn't know, when you get a cesarean section, they literally separate your abdominal muscles apart, as opposed to cutting, which is what a lot of people think. They cut through your muscles, but they literally just separate them bad boys, and they leave you like that. They give you a belt and you just kind of left on your own. But what they don't tell us is that we have to do deep core training in order to get these muscles back together. All right, my third tip is to increase your protein intake. And I tell people all the time that this is so big and so key to losing fat. One, because protein naturally has thermogenic properties. Thermogenic means fat burning. You need to cinch the waist, burn the fat, and protein is going to help you do that. Protein also promotes muscle growth, and the bigger the muscle, the smaller the fat. So always try to stay between the 4 to 6 range for meals per day, and make those meals rich in protein. My fourth tip is to minimize processed foods. So if you live in the States, you know, or you may not know, that so much of the food that's readily available to us is ultra processed. And we tend to eat processed foods because honestly, as moms, we don't feel like we have the time to prepare meals throughout the day. So that is why setting aside a day out the week to meal prep for at least a few days ahead will be very beneficial. And my fifth and last tip is to increase your fiber intake.